Hey everybody, it's Trevor here again with the Retro Bliss podcast, putting out another super low quality YouTube video for your viewing displeasure. Check us out on iTunes or Stitcher or bicbp-radio.com. We just do a podcast about retro games, pretty much anything from the Atari 2600 to the Sega Dreamcast and everything in between. A lot of 8 and 16-bit focus, of course. And speaking of 16-bit, I'm here to review this Sega Genesis controller. Maybe you noticed the first video we uploaded on YouTube was a quick unboxing of the Sega Saturn version of this controller. This is the Sega Genesis one. Now this is an officially licensed Sega Genesis controller, 6-button controller, but it's actually manufactured by Retrobit. But I heard excellent things about these, that these really are top of the line and a bargain for what they are. This is available in the original black and this cool translucent blue, which is just, it's sort of its own thing and it just screams 90s. But it is available in the original black. I'll go ahead and say, I'm going to unbox this in a second, but I got a chance to play around with the Sega Saturn version of this controller. And it just feels marvelous. I mean, this is not some cheap knockoff. It feels like the real thing. Maybe slightly better because it has a 10-foot cord. And it's new, so it just feels like a new controller. But anyways, here's the 6-button one. Now, the Genesis controller from Retrobit is only $14.99. Or you can buy the USB version to plug into anything that takes USB. And I think that's $19.99. But this one goes in an original Sega Genesis or, you know, anything you use that takes a Sega Genesis controller. And it's super legit looking. And so let's just go and open it up. And see what we got here. But based on my experience last night with the Saturn controller, I had pretty high expectations. It really was great. And again, this one's $14.99, so it's not even an expensive replacement. There's the packaging. Again, a 10-foot cord, I believe, just like the Saturn version, which is just super helpful. Let me make sure I'm telling you right about that. Yes, 10-foot cord. A little harder to get out of the pack than the Saturn one was. There we go. Okay. Man, isn't that pretty? Wow. Of course, if you want it to look just like your original 6-button, you can go with the black version. And I went with the black Sega Saturn one. And then actually had to go back and get the translucent gray one because I loved it so much. But I decided to go with this blue one because it's just super cool for the Sega Genesis controller. I'm going to tell you, the D-pad feels absolutely excellent. The buttons feel excellent. It does have the little mode button, I'll be honest. Never quite figured out, for the most part, why that button was there, but it's here. And it is built remarkably like the original. Even has the Sega logo with the Retrobit logo on the back. Yeah, just feels fantastic. Don't have much else to say about it. It looks super cool. And I really wish I'd grabbed the Genesis controller to compare, but they really are remarkably similar. Actually, you know what? Let's just set this here for you to stare at. This is professional YouTubing. Just like our podcast. We're professional podcasters. And by professional, I mean extremely unprofessional. Let's just leave that there and I'll be right back. Okay. Only at Retro Bliss do you get this kind of quality. So here's the original 6-button. Of course, same everything really. Of course, the color's different, but you can tell it's the exact same form factor. If anything, no, I think this is the same weight really. If anything, the Retrobit one almost feels a little heavier, to be honest. Just really impressive. there you go. You can get these on Amazon, $14.99. Can't recommend it enough. I'm not getting a kickback. No one would pay to put out crappy YouTube videos like this anyways. But I do recommend it, just from one retro gamer to another. Peace. And check out Retro Bliss. You probably won't regret it.